Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy Coach One Stack, man. We at it. I wanted to drop y'all a little bit more content today, man. And I'm here, man, to break down some laws, some things from my past, and let you guys really know how you should be moving and things you should not be doing, and just how to really stay safe in these streets, y'all. And this video really has something to do with Hernandez Govan and what could possibly happen to him before he's able to testify at that RICO case. Because even if he ain't able to testify, you got to remember, they have his sealed testimony from his own trial sealed. I did say sealed, so you don't even know what's in it. It's a reason why it's sealed, because it's sealed because it has other people's names in it, and they don't want other information to get out to the public about other cases they may be working on before they're ready to go forward. But let me tell you guys what a dying declaration is, y'all. What a dying declaration is. Let me put y'all up on game. You could be out in the streets, and Hernandez Govan could find himself in this very position. A lot of you could. I could. Anyone could. It could have been Big Jeff. Anybody could find themselves in this position. Tupac found himself in that position. And actually, I'm going to use the Tupac story. When Tupac was shot out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, because I'm out here born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was at the fight that night. I wasn't at the fight. I was going to the club that night when that stuff happened to Tupac. I was a young kid in my early 20s. When he got shot, the first the first responder to him, the policeman, came to him and he was holding him by the head. And they said Tupac was gurgling blood out of his mouth. And he asked Tupac, "Who shot you? Who shot you?" And Tupac, the officer said that Tupac got up enough breath and was like, "Fuck you." Well, see, guys, let's just say, for instance, Tupac has said, "Keefy D is the one that shot me." Well, guess what? I want you guys to know this. That is called a dying declaration. And a dying declaration stands up in court. Which means, and I'm going to tell you why. It stands up in court because it's said in the court system that if a person is sitting there losing their life, it's like they're trying to make themselves right with God and clear their conscience before they go out of this world with the man upstairs. So a person that's sitting here just dying, passing away, expiring, as life is going out of their body, they more than likely not finna tell a lie. You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you either who did it, like such did it, my mama did it, my daddy did it, my brother did it, whoever did it. And guys, that stands up in court. And if you don't know about that, y'all better check that out for some of y'all young riders out there, y'all young steppers, young hustlers. You get into it, man. You get into it with someone and you use that iron. And if they alive long enough when the police come and say you did it and pass away, guess what? They're going to charge you. And his testimony is going to stand up in court. Now, see, this can definitely affect Hernandez Govan greatly because we already know he's working for the FBI. We already know that. Ray Charles could see that. Everybody could see that. This is why he had a sealed testimony in his trial, because in that sealed testimony is a whole bunch of other things that they don't want to leak. And guys, when you're a federal informant, man, and you've done work for the FBI, I want you to know, man, they got informers out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, that we personally know who they are, that the FBI actually follows to make sure they're safe. The feds, man, guys, the feds work in such a way, bro, like that if you are such a high value Charlie, that's what they call an informant, a Charlie. If you're a high value Charlie, they will give you protection because at the end of the day, they get paid by the hour as well. It don't matter what they're doing, whether they following you to protect you, putting a case on somebody, buying drugs or whatever. So he's that type of informant, man, that people would follow. This is why, to me, he felt so comfortable trying to bait Seti Nash in, telling him all the places that he's going. Now, you know, I'll be at Vlad, I'll be in LA, I'll be in... Man, come on, man. Real ones don't do that. Real ones move in silence, especially us old heads, us older ones, man. We move in silence, and you ain't never gonna know where I'm at. I don't even have no beef with nobody. You're never gonna know where I'm at unless I want you to. You gonna see where I'm at after I've been gone for 2-3 days. But this is why Hernandez Govan is moving like that. He's trying to get his bread up because he know he can't go back to Memphis. But in a case that something happens to him, right? If something happens to him, and let's just say, for instance, somebody tries to take him up out of here and tells him something like, yeah, man, Gotti said, what's up? Gotti told me to tell you what's up. Or this is for Gotti. Because a lot of people, man, when they murk somebody, that's what they do. This is for such and such. Well, guess what? If that man lived long enough and he's talking to the police and he tells them, hey, man, the guy came up to me and yelled, this is for Gotti, and boom, boom. Guess what? That's going to stand up in court as a dying declaration if that man passed away. You know, I really don't, you know, I can't say whether I expect him to get knocked off or anything like that. I don't want to say that, but I can say that he's moving around with his head on a swivel, because if you were Gotti, how would you feel knowing that the only link to you, right? The only link, it's only one link to you that we know of out in the open. It could be more. Shit, Angela Simmons could be a link, because people pillow talk with their woman all the time. You know, take that into consideration. They're not married. She can testify against him. Maybe some of the things he done did around her, shit, she's a damn accomplice for all we know. That's how it works. That's why you keep your girl out your business. But like I said, this is the only person that could link him to the murder of Dolph and to all the other things that CMG been doing, Black Youngster and other people, and these other shootings and these other incidents, because it ain't just about the shootings, man, when you're dealing with a RICO. We talk about the assaults, you know, the assaults. Assaults is not even when you hit somebody, it's when you threaten people. A lot of you guys assault people each and every day. When you sit up on your page and you holding your Draco or whatever, and you telling people what you gonna do to them, God, that's a whole crime. And then let me give it to you a little deeper, man. When you sitting on the internet holding your blicky and y'all talking about what you gonna do to X, Y, and Z, see, the reason why it makes it a crime is because you now have something in your hand, right, that could take a life, and you're threatening somebody. So now with your threat, you can carry out that threat. And now, since you're doing it over the phone long distance, that makes it a federal charge, dum-dum. Use your head, man. Y'all got to be better than that. That's a whole charge. That's a whole charge. But like I said, yes, you know, yes, a dying declaration does stand up in court. And hey, if I was Gotti, y'all can answer in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think he gonna try to get him up out of here so he doesn't have any more loose ends, you know, to take care of? Because he already took care of his brother. Or do you think he just gonna let it ride, man, and take this supposedly upcoming RICO case, man? Y'all answer in the comments. But other than that, man, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, man, so y'all know when I'm dropping stuff, and share the content, and keep your head on the swivel and stay out of trouble.